Don't forget to click the subscribe button, comment down below, like this video, and click the bell icon to be notified. Okay, good morning. Yeah, I have a horse back here that needs to be packed. So I thought I packed everything in the van, and then I remembered the horse. It looks like Midnight Maiden is winning the voting. I'm gonna leave it open through the weekend, so like I have to price her and name her by Monday. It means you basically have today when this runs to vote. Thank you to everyone who's donated to Victoria's archery fund to get her to nationals. For those of you who are new here or don't know, my daughter won state championship with her middle school team, and the school had an unexpected happy moment of both their high school and their middle school team won, and they only had the funds to send one team. So they chose the high school team. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of graduating seniors on that high school team, and, you know, their reasoning was it's their last year. And I get it, but it was still disappointing and heartbreaking for my daughter to not get to go to nationals. So we talked to the coaches in the school, and they said if we can fund their way, like pay for it yourself, or... So we're trying to raise $3,000 for Victoria. We still need to get a commitment from 2 other players who I think might have financial problems. So any additional money that doesn't cover Victoria is going to go to one of those players to get them to nationals as well, if we can. The school forbid me from online fundraising for the team. But any overage for Victoria, because I could do it specifically for Victoria, for her cost, but any overages, they can't stop me from giving to another team member who might need it. So we're hoping to get the whole team there, guys. So I really am grateful for everyone who's donated, because it's not just my daughter, but I can't specifically say it's for anyone else. That makes sense? I'm going to a school board meeting after this. I have heard all the comments. I've heard all the screaming and all the parents who are like, what is your school doing? I get it, because I don't know. I legitimately was like, what do you mean we can't do online fundraising for the team? Anyway, I'm going to move on from that, because that's not why you guys are here. So, but I wanted to thank you guys who have donated. I'm so grateful. I'm going to have to like go on a Junkin' Road tour and go see you guys to say thank you for all you've done for my daughter and for me over these years. So thank you so much. That's not flippant in any way. I want you to know that's genuine. But yeah, we've been thinking about doing a Junkin' Road tour anyway, and maybe going around the country. So let's just say it's working. It's in the works. But as you guys know, you know, I lost $450 at the last show, which kind of really impacts your finances. You know what I'm saying? So the Wonder Horse will get packed. I actually think I want to put her in the front seat, because I don't want her to get scratched in the back. So the front seat is still open. There's nothing in the front seat. I'm going to wrap her in a drop cloth, and I think tuck her. I'm going to seatbelt her in next to me. Because I don't want her to get wrecked. She's so beautiful. Oh, have I showed you guys since the all the conchos are on her? They're staying just fine. They don't come off. She looks beautiful. I can't thank you guys enough for all the suggestions and support on this. I'm so excited for her. I don't know what to charge for her and kind of want to keep her. But anyway, I have had questions about what do you bring to a sale? Like, some of you are going to your first sales, your first pop-ups, and you're like, what do I need to bring? We're going to go through my kit today. So let me get this out of the way. I will get it set up, and we're going to go through my kit, because I got to repack it, restack it, and make sure everything's in there anyway. So let's figure out what we bring in the kit. All right. This is my kit. As you can see, some of the extension cords that I had taken out of Picket, and I actually bought some more. We're going to go through everything in the kit. I will show you everything that I bring. Yeah, you want to make sure that you have all your stuff ready to go and in an easily accessible place. Like, I always put it in the same bin and it's see-through so that I know where it is, because I'm neurodivergent or ADHD, and if I can't see it, I forgot I own it. So I will forget where it is. I will forget everything about it, like what's in it. And then I'll be panicked when a sale rolls around. Here's the thing about going to shows. So if you're at all worried that you're going to forget something or anything like that, you're not going to a third world country, right? So I kind of level back. There are hardware stores, grocery stores, drugstores near every venue I've ever been at, except the one downtown Minneapolis, and then I would have had to drive a little extra distance, but it's downtown. So there are going to be resources if you forget anything in your kit. So I don't want you to completely freak out and panic, but you might want to make a list. Shows are kind of a different critter from having a booth. You know, when you do a show, you usually have to rent electricity. It's an extra $10 charge for electrical. And then what they don't tell you is you get one outlet. One socket. One like that. Like, you get the 3-prong one. Because there's somebody from the show that's got one of the other ones. You paid $10 for one outlet. Therefore, this sucker is full of extension cords and a power strip. Here's my power strip. These are nice to have. You can usually find them in the thrift store. Just make sure they work before you leave. I think I paid $2 for this one at the thrift store. What's nice about the power strip is at the end of the day, if it's a multi-day show, you can just shut your lights off. Turn them on in the morning. Instead of walking around and hitting them all, which doesn't seem like it's any big deal. It's a big deal. Because if you're shutting them off individually, the chances of that one little tea light you've got tucked in the back not getting shut off are pretty high. So this is nice to have. Plus then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extension cord availabilities. I have different length of extension cord. This one is a 15 foot. You can see it's written on there. This is like a 6 foot. This is a 12 foot. This is, let me write that one on there, but I think this is probably also a 16 foot. I gotta write these on this. Probably a 12. This is only like a 5 foot. This is a really short one. And the reason you have different lengths is because, like, my booth is 10 by 12. So I'm going to need to run power all the way around, because you want to have light everywhere, light cells. And it's one of the tips that, you know, even the event promoters like bring lights. You want clamp lights to spotlight things. You want different lights for different reasons, and we'll go through that. But some of these will be piggybacked on each other, so they'll be daisy chained together. You know, like, say I've got the 16 foot, but I need to wrap around a 10 by 12. Well, you're probably going to grab another 6 footer and put it on that one. And, you know, along the way, you end up lighting all your lamps and making sure you got plenty of light, because there will be overhead light, but I can't even tell you how it doesn't do the trick. Like, lighting your booth is essential to get people to shop. People don't like to be in a dark space, and those giant overhead lights that can be 150, 200 feet in the air aren't doing your product any justice. So you want to make sure you have plenty of cords. So I've got all of these. These are going to have to be repacked and restacked. Let's go through our little marketing stuff here. Not marketing, but I call them talkers. I don't know what everybody else in the retail business calls them. I'm sure there's a specific word for it. Little pop-up things that tell people, sorry, no checks, but we do accept credit cards. Here's the thing, is that these vintage shows, people think cash only because they've been trained over the years for cash only. if you take credit card and Venmo, you sell a lot more. Now, I'll put links below to Square, which is what I use for my credit card reader. If you sign up through my link, wait till you're going to your first show, sign up through my link, because then you will get your first $1,000 in processing for free without any charges beyond like the whatever. I don't even know, but it's free. And then I get some free too. But I call them my little shelf talkers. I even have little ones like this that this time around I'm putting in between items on the tables, because I have a giant one that's already packed in the van that I put at the checkout register, like on the floor. And I can't even tell you how many people do not see it. Do not see it. But if these are tucked in, like I tuck these around the tables, they'll be shopping and go, oh, you take Venmo? I'm getting it then. You know, because they're thinking, I only have so much cash in my pocket and I just started shopping and I don't want to spend it because I don't know what I'm going to find later on. Or they're at the end of a sale and they only have $50 left and your item is $60. So the chances of them going, will you take the 50? But if you take credit cards, a lot of times they won't even ask. They'll just give you the credit card. So Venmo is another one that I do. That's what the youngins like the 20 and 30-year-olds like the Venmo. And what's nice is it's not in here, is it? Yes, it is. No, that's the instructions. Yeah, it's right here. This is your Venmo QR code. This sits at the checkout register. All they have to do is take their phone out, scan it, put the total in, and you get a pop-up on your phone that says, bing, you got this much money. It's like the hands-free, neatest way to do things. I swear I love the Venmo. So anyway, I think there's a Venmo referral link I can put down there too, which gives you something, $5. Oh, I gave one to a friend yesterday who asked me to send her a Venmo link. $5 if you do the Venmo through my link. So you'll get a $5 bonus. So that's what I have, and I scatter them all over the place. I am going to reprint this one. This was for the December show that I did. I'm going to reprint it with spring. So I'm going to just go onto Canva. I use Canva all the time. I do the professional Canva, but they have a free version. You can certainly make these with the free version. And I'm going to put tulips and stuff like that for Easter. I just kind of customize them for the season. This one's not customized for a season. It just stays like it is. Sorry, no checks. I do put sorry, no checks, because you'd be surprised how many people still want to give you a check. Speaking of Square, this is my Square reader. This is the one that attaches to my phone. It is for the iPhone with the, what do you call it? Okay. I don't know. I struggle to get this stupid thing open. The magnet stripe. So this one attaches to my phone. They sell them for other phones. You can attach it to an iPad. I also have a backup one from my old phone with an adapter on it. Good to have a backup in case your equipment stops working, but you don't have to. You don't have to have a backup, but you have to have one of these. They're $10 for this one. So it's $10. I think the other one that's just the regular reader that goes in like a headphones jack, if you still have that on your phone, is free, if I remember correctly. But then this magnet stripe reader that attaches to the newer phones is $10. If you have Amazon Prime, it's $9.95 with free shipping. So I actually buy mine from Amazon and not from Square. I've lost several of these. So this time I've sworn I'm keeping it in the box and in here. But my husband borrowed it because one of his clients needed to run a credit card and he didn't have the new swiper for his phone. And I think he still got it. So that's in there. This is my money belt. You guys saw me make this on the channel. It's just an apron. I did use a cash box for a while. I've gone away from the cash box because sometimes you have to walk away from the cash box. And then I get nervous about, especially in Minneapolis, like somebody grabbing it and running off. But on ticketed events, I think the chances of getting your stuff stolen is lower, but not impossible. Now I just put this on. and I put my change in one and then my payments in another, and I kind of try and keep them separated, but anyway. Money belt. Receipts for people that want them. I have learned more and more that sometimes people just don't want them. They don't want to wait for you to write it up. So I'll ask now, do you want a receipt? And some people, if they're buying for business and at Junk Bonanza, a lot of times the answer is yes on the first day of the sale, because like professionals will come through. Last sale, I had a guy buy a Victorian blouse and a woman buy some kids chairs, and they, and the children's mannequins that I had, they were photography props. So they needed receipts for it. So have the receipts. Don't assume that people aren't going to want receipts, because like if you get that professional that's coming through and they need a receipt, you need a receipt. This doesn't absolutely have to be in here, but it's a display piece. Bracelet display. I don't always use them, but I have it in here. I have other display pieces in here as well. Little stands. Like I've got a bunch of stands. I got big stands, little stands, and where's that? And this. So these are essential, you guys. So having props of some kind to put things on. These are great for displaying, like, let's say you have a teacup and you want to put the saucer up behind it, or you have a small plate or a small tray. This is, you're gonna need that back. It's doing so well. I have a lot of mid-century trays and stuff like that. This one hasn't even been opened. This is from Dollar Tree, so it's not that big of an expense. I find a lot of them at the thrift store. These were from the thrift store, and they're usually in the picture aisle. So they're just to prop things up. Sometimes things that sit at an angle can be propped up to look better in your display. This is brilliant because it has, I don't have them there in the bottom, little wooden dowels that put them together like this. So it creates a little rail. It's got holes on both sides. You put the dowels in between. These are great for plates, but what they're also really great for are those trays, those metal trays. So it takes up so much less space when you're displaying on a table. And trays that are just laid flat and stacked aren't as pretty. People don't look at them. So like the last time I did trays in this, and I did the large ones in the back and kind of went down. And I sold so many freaking trays, and I can't move trays. Now at Pickett, I put trays for like $2 a piece. At Junk Bonanza, I put them at $6 a piece and put them in here, and I couldn't keep them in there. I mean, I was like restocking trays all day. I had some under the table. This is from Amazon. I can put an affiliate link below. These are brilliant because they pack flat. They fit in the case really nice, along just slide in the side. And yeah, they're great. They're great for display. My business card holder. I made this one from a wooden stir stick and some Scrabble pieces. This is from a breast cancer Scrabble board. That's why they're pink and on brand. But I put my business cards in there because you wouldn't believe how many people want to take your cards at these things. I also have a business card holder with, so this is the public one. But this one has my phone number on it. I don't give this one out to everyone, but I have had people that would like to do events with you, or people that you would want to, other vendors. I will give this card to. It's got my, my name and phone number on it. I've also had people media-wise that want your information. So that's that. This is the public one that they can take. This is the one I keep behind the register so that if somebody says, we should get together, it's that one. So always have some business cards, marketing, stuff like that on hand. Of batteries. Now, I don't even know what I'm going to need batteries for, or if I'm going to need batteries. I mean, I have lights, little fairy lights that require batteries. And I usually check them before I go, so I don't think I'll need these, but I always pack them just in case, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I forgot about that piece and it has a battery and I don't have a battery in it. Or like a clock, or, you know, I don't know. At this show, not so much, because the clocks I'm bringing are wind up. So I bring them anyway. Nothing's worse than being at a show. And I did say it's not a third world country, so if you forget your batteries, no big deal. But there's nothing worse than having to either break from what you're doing and go get something that you need, or after you're done setting up, having to remember, I need to stop and get batteries, or that you show up the next day and you go, I forgot to get the batteries. So I just pack them. They're not taking up much space. I usually pack a couple of these little, I get these on Amazon as well. Their batteries are dead cheap. And they come in a box of like 200 or something like that. So I just grab a couple of the prepackaged 5s and 6s. So these come in 6, these come in 5s. And I just grab a couple packages. I tuck them in my kit. And if I don't use them, I don't use them. They're not taking up much space. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Speaking of the fairy lights, I have an abundance of fairy lights. We talked about lighting. I have these little metal fairy lights. You can barely see that one light up. Let's see. I've got better ones. These are LED fairy lights. I think I got these on Amazon. I know I got these on Amazon. That one lit up really great. So the battery on that other one must be needing some juice. These I wind back through displays because this one's got a timer on it. It just lights things up from behind. It makes it nice when you're in an area, when you have that little corner that you're going, oh, it's really dark. I have folding shelves that sometimes I'll put stuff on and the shelf is dark. Like, and you don't have a light that's going to shine in there. I do have a clamp light that I bring. I don't have 16 of them to light up every shelf. I wind these around the products in the shelf. So that one's, can't really see it. There you go. Take the lights out. I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of different fairy lights. You can get them at the Dollar Tree. I picked up these. So they used to be $1. They're $1.25 now. But you can see these still have battery juice from the last time. I shouldn't store them with batteries, but I do. But I always check them before I go. That one's probably going to need some new batteries. These were Dollar Tree. If the ones at Dollar Tree that you find have something weird on the lights, they come off. So I saw that one day they had snowflakes on them. I think that's one of these. And I just pulled the snowflakes off. So I just have the plain fairy lights for $1.25. You know, pull the lights off. These are my stickers for my products. So I have bags that I've picked up at thrift stores and things like that. These are my marketing stickers with my website and my logo on them. So I have little gift bags that I've picked up over time at the thrift store. And I will, if somebody needs a small bag, I will just sticker the bag, hand it to them. Everything leaves there with my logo on it. Clamps, you guys. I gotta get more clamps, actually. Always, always, always bring clamps because you don't ever know what you're gonna need that clamp for, but they come in handy. Like, I'm gonna use a drop cloth on my table instead of the tablecloths that you can buy because the polyester tablecloths make me go, it just doesn't look cute, you know? So I got a canvas drop cloth. And then to keep it on there and make sure it doesn't suddenly slide off and take my product with it, I clamp it to the edges of the table in the back just to make sure it stays on my table. I also bring mini clamps because sometimes you want to clamp a cord out of the way, or there are multiple uses for clamps. I usually bring different sizes, different strengths. So like this one holds a lot more than that one. I mean, they're both good. But this one, you can tell by how hard it is to open, is going to actually clamp stuff down. So bring some clamps. You will not regret it. There will be situations where you're like, I need a clamp. It's good to have. So I've got 2 of these and then 2 of these right now. I am going to bring a couple different sizes. I have a bag of clamps somewhere. I'm going to find them. A calculator. Your phone has a calculator on it, but Trust me, sometimes the old fashioned is just the best. Some Clorox wipes, some cleaning product of some kind, because inevitably there'll be a spill, or, you know, I bring hand sanitizer too, but it's in a giant bottle. I got a gallon of it at the hardware store, and I put it in a Dollar Tree spray bottle so that if people are touching my phone afterwards, I ask them if they would like some hand sanitizer, because I get it. People don't want to touch your phone. It's gross. More plates. Artwork. So sometimes paintings, you don't have a place to hang in a booth or a, you know, at these events. I'm serious about the extension cords, y'all. I have a chalkboard and a chalkboard marker. It sits on things like this. These are nice to have. These are from Dollar Tree. So I pick these up and I don't write anything on them. I just bring them to the show because the chalk markers are next to impossible to get off. You want a chalk marker. They're called cafe markers. These are nice to have if you've forgotten to price something that's like bulk. Last time it was wooden utensils. They were all $2 a piece and I didn't mark them all. So I did a little chalkboard sign. I had a heart one that I got from Dollar Tree. So Dollar Tree has a bunch of different chalkboards in their craft aisle. The heart tag ones I hung on the side of my shelf. So I have a metal shelf that these items were on, and I just hung a little tag that said $2 each, so that, you know, I don't have to keep answering how much are these, how much are these. I'm gonna go get more of those tags, but this is nice for larger items if there's something that you feel like needs to be conveyed. Like I have a table this time around. It's a gossip bench. It has USB chargers in it, but you can't see them. So I'm going to put a little shelf talker on there that says table with USB chargers to charge your phone or something. You know, it'll be cute. I'll figure it out, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. And then I'm going to put it in one of these little displays from Dollar Tree. It's a nice way for people, like calling out features and things like that that aren't immediately noticeable. Like I've done something special to this table. I put a USB charger under the surface so that you can charge your phone and it's out of the way. This is my backup. Like I said, it's got the adapter on it. My backup stripe or square. I also have this from the Dollar Tree. This is just some cording, you never know. There have been different shows that I'm like, you know, I need a piece of rope. I got to hold this up. Like string, cording, rope of some kind. If you want to, you know, make it less noticeable, like this is very noticeable. This is the heavy duty stuff, but I also have jute twine. God, I had my last junk bonanza, one of my displays fell over. And I had one piece that was really tippy. So I had a heavy piece that I strapped it to so it wouldn't go anywhere because it kept falling over. You know, it was nice to have that jute and twine and stuff like that to make sure nothing's going anywhere. Marketing materials. These are, you absolutely have to have these. These are my 2022 Picket Fence Scale schedules. So these are have to have. Yeah, you have to have these. They have a table at Junk Bonanza where you can put all the marketing stuff out, but I also keep these at my register because people will go, where do you sell? Where is your store? What do you do? And then they're nice to have. I got to get some vintage junky ones as well. A stapler. This was Dollar Tree as well. Never know what you're going to use a stapler for. I also bring tape. There's tape in here. Bottom. I've got some S hooks. I don't always need them or use them, but again, it's a tiny thing to bring with. And then like I have like I said, wire shelves. I hung stuff off the side of the wire shelf last time because I noticed that it was laying down and people weren't really noticing it. So I grabbed one of these and just hung it up, and then bam, it's sold. Here's the tape. Pens. That's it. I think that's it. But that's basically like my register kit. You want to, obviously my money is going to go in there. But those are the little essentials that I kind of pack and make sure that I have. I had a small scissor in here and I don't know what happened to it. But I'm going to get a small scissor in there right now because I can't even tell you. There's so many situations that arise that you're like, oh, do you have a scissor? Anybody have a scissor? And I think at last Junk Bonanza, we needed a scissor and I didn't bring it. No, it was at St. Cloud. I had tied the bags handles together so that they didn't go flying all over the car. They were inside another bag and I tied the handles together with this really great like plastic twine. And the scissor wasn't in the kit to cut them apart. So I had to like muscle it, but it hurt my fingers. So I will make sure I get a scissor in there so that I have it for this time around. But that's sort of a breakdown of the things that I keep and carry in my bag. Is there stuff that you keep and carry in your bag? If you guys have been doing shows for years, what can you not live without? These are the pieces I can't live without. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you haven't yet gotten one of your Happy Junkin' shirts, don't forget to click the links below, or your Second Mouse Gets the Cheese. If you'd like to send me a Thrift Flip challenge, because right after Junk Bonanza, I get to start working in the shop again. Yay. We get to start painting and doing stuff again, and maybe I get some Thrift Flips in. So the Thrift Flip challenge, you just send me to the P.O. box. Anything else you want to send me as well, you can send it to the P.O. box. Don't send me creepy mail. Thank you again for the sweet deer that was sent to me by Melon. She's got she found it at the bins as my lucky charm for Junk Bonanza. I'm sure it's going to work out great. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, that link is in the description as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy junkin'. Bye. Visit my blog, peonylanedesigns.com, for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos. I post every week DIY tutorials and, of course, more junkin' videos.